Hey, welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Leesburg. My name is Anne. We're so glad that you joined us here today. Our theme for 2024 is a grand rising. This month, our focus is a grand rising. Today's message is It's a New Life, and it will be given by our spiritual director, Charlene Banks. We are so glad that you joined us today. Please feel free to add to the chat or in the comments any prayer requests or celebrations that you would like to have included later in the service when we provide our community spiritual mind treatment, which is a form of affirmative prayer. We invite you to get comfortable and relax into this moment as we will officially begin our service with this welcoming video.
Please join us as we create our sacred space. We set our intentions of deepening into our awareness and practice of our 5 pillars of spiritual living by lighting this candle in our virtual world. Our first pillar is sacred study, represented by the divine quality of truth. We use this pillar to recognize the importance of an open mind and the power of our minds. The second pillar is affirmative prayer, represented by the divine quality power. This pillar honors the power of prayer in our daily lives. Our third pillar is meditation and the divine quality of peace. This pillar reminds us of the importance of meditation and the peace we feel when we quiet our minds. The fourth pillar is circulation and the divine quality of life. We know that the great law of circulation works in our lives. As we give, so shall we receive. And the fifth pillar is sacred service and the divine quality of love. This pillar affirms our call to be of service to our world as we see through the eyes of love. Let us close our eyes as we bless this sacred space and our time together. As we weave each of these pillars of spiritual living into our service today, may they deepen our own spiritual practices of study, prayer, meditation, circulation, and service, expanding our minds and our hearts to the 5 divine qualities of truth, power, peace, life, and love. We also bless everyone who made our service possible today and everyone in attendance. May the energy of love that is generated here bless everyone abundantly. And so it is.
And so it is indeed. Thank you, Anne, for that wonderful introduction. And I am going to do our meditation today because Tamara is taking some time off, which she totally deserves because she's been working so hard. So I would invite you to just take a moment. Let's just do our community meditation where we all go in, find our breath, settle in our bodies, just breathing in and out to the sounds of Dan's wonderful guitar music. And when we're done with this, we have a treat. The Soul Pajamas are going to be playing for us. So take a moment and just drop into your body. What does that mean? Drop in. Many times we spend our waking lives in our head. Rarely do we just settle into our bodies and feel. Go with me and just in whatever seat you're sitting in, where your body touches the support, just feel into it. Feel into the bottoms of your feet. Follow that sensation of grounding up and through your lower body, bringing our attention into that area. You've probably slowed your breath. Fully inhaling. Gently exhaling. Drop our shoulders and relax. Breathing in. Releasing tension in our hands. Maybe holding them in an upright position on our lap. To just be here, and we're right. Close your eyes. Well, open your eyes and softly gaze at the different images in the video. Just full scenes of nature. Soothing sounds. As we breathe. This nourishing moment where we turn our attention to our bodies is the most important moment, as it brings us into this present, which it's the only thing we truly have is the present moment. So by anchoring into our bodies, feeling our breath, hearing the sounds, looking at these images, we are reminded to stay present. And in doing so, we become so grateful. So in gratitude, we allow this moment to get gratefully aware and awake and alive. And so it is. Oh, and now it is time for music from the Soul Pajama.
Good morning, all you darlings lurking back there somewhere. Oh, look, there's everybody. This is a wonderful song written by Janice Stanfield. For those of you who've been around a long time, you might remember her. And in the chorus, there is a response, call and response. So feel free, wherever you are, to sing right along, and no one will be able to hear you if you're out of tune, so don't worry about it. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Look into a child's eyes. Tell me what you see. Reflections of the hopes and dreams of what we're here to be. We are born for greatness, born for greatness, everyday greatness, everyday greatness, born for greatness, born for greatness, every day, every day. There's a soul in every one of us, in every neighborhood. Just look around, and I believe with all my heart, each soul is good, very good. We are born for greatness, born for greatness, everyday greatness, everyday greatness, born for greatness, born for greatness, every day, every day. It isn't just the righteous stuff. Can't you hear it? For all the world to see. You know what I mean. But we do great things every day. Little things, simple things. Quietly, quietly, we are born for greatness, born for greatness, everyday greatness, everyday greatness, born for greatness, born for greatness, every day, every day.
I love that. There's great things happening inside, even if it doesn't show up like bling bling. I love that, Erin and Dan. Very well done. So, everyday greatness. I have a question. How's your New Year's resolution going? Anybody? Good? You're on your way. Have you had some hiccups? What if I told you that you're right on track? What? I'm right on track. I thought I fell off the wagon, you might be thinking. Okay, first of all, there is no wagon. It's all an illusion, not a wagon. Not at all. It's really us having this life. We have this grand rising. We started out the month with grand rising, everyone. And of course, you don't want to seem pretentious. So maybe you just say it to yourself. Grand rising. Every day is an amazing day. And we have it's a new life is the title of this talk today. And a new life, excuse me, a new life? Can I really have a new life? A lot of times having these vision boards and setting our intentions are all about improving the life that we currently have, but it shouldn't be done. It's funny, I say shouldn't, and I automatically correct myself because there we go with the shoulds. I don't really want to look at my life as something that needs improvement. Rather, something that unfolds before me, much like a rose, a bud of a rose, slowly unfolding according to the pattern of its DNA. That's more of what I'm thinking. And so when we, the beginning of the year, do our vision board, and full disclosure, I couldn't really get far with my vision board because I couldn't come up with a picture of what it is I kind of feel for myself. But a friend of mine, you know her, Melinda, we chatted yesterday and she gave me some insight that I feel like works perfectly in this talk. It's just that she said, well, wait a second, what is it that you want to feel? Because I had mentioned intention. My intentions are what you do when you want the universe to just laugh at you. Set an intention and get laughed at. But I did mention to her that I do want to deepen my meditation practice and be more consistent with certain ways of taking care of myself. And she grabbed onto that, and Melinda said, okay, what feeling arises because of that? Because you've deepened your meditation practice, because you have taken care of yourself. And I said, strength. I'm thinking a foundational strength upon which I can build whatever it is that is my heart's desire, which I don't have to know what that is right now. And she said, exactly. She says, now the word strength on your vision board. And now imagine the things that what would it look like to have this type of strength in your life? And really what I was thinking is not really strength in muscles, although I'm working on those too. Y'all know me, muscles. But also it's strength of character, strength of resolve, strength of my conviction that I am here on purpose as a divine being, and I'm here in service. So now I'm thinking about that, and I'm trying to incorporate that into my life, and it's a nice continuity. I feel the continuity going, because just as the beginning of the month, when we started talking about a grand rising, I decided that I would look upon people and just see people and take away my layer of judgment on those people. Well, they really should be. Okay, let's admire the being that's in front of me without my little, it would be really good if let's take that out. So lately, and it's been working for, I want to say, the past whole month so far, I've looked upon people and then caught myself and arrested the judgment and just said, oh, well, people are going to people. They're just where they are. So what does this have to do with it's a new life? Well, for me, and I'd love for you guys to join me on this. Listen, we have a new opportunity in this world post-pandemic to really examine those thoughts that we held dear, that we thought were us, and then choose which ones belong to us and which ones don't. And how does this serve us? Well, not everything's going to go our way. We'll make an intention, we'll set an intention. We're going to be all into, this is what I want for myself. And then something will come along and get in the way. And we may say, must not be meant for me. I must not be the one to enjoy this thing that I want. It must not be for me. There's a barrier. But listen, Ernest Holmes says in The Science of Mind, Ernest Holmes, the founder of religious science, is officially what we're called, there will never be an end to any of the eternal verities like truth, love, beauty, never an end of those are eternal. The base qualities of the divine, truth, love, and beauty. He says there will never be an end to God. Or if you want to think of it, the divine energy, Mother, Father, God, the universal spirit. There'll never be an end. It doesn't end because it never began. It just is. Okay. And it says there'll never be an end to God, nor any of the attributes which are co-eternal and coexistent with God. And so as a community, as a society, we attribute these qualities to God. The divine, never-ending attributes like love, truth, beauty, that doesn't end. It just changes how it shows up, but they're fundamental truths. And so Ernest continues and ends with this: if we are wise, we shall cultivate a faith in these realities. A faith in these realities. Now, think about this. I don't know where you came from in terms of religious background, spirituality, but when we hear the word faith, usually it's brought to us when we have a question and we're told, just have faith, don't ask any questions. And if you're, okay, wait a second, is the universe 4,000 years old or billions of years old? Well, the Bible says 4,000, so just have faith in the Bible. We're not really saying have faith in the Bible. Ernest is not saying that here. So if you have been raised to have faith in the Bible, I would like you to expand your concept and choose to have faith in the divine idea behind that Bible. Because people are going to people. Humans are going to human. They're going to take this divine, eternal existence that didn't begin and doesn't end, and they're going to shrink it down into the box of their own understanding, and then they're going to write stuff down. And it's not for us to just live within the box of their understanding that they wrote down. We get to go back to the source that's behind it. This is the actual truth. And we don't stop with Christianity. Hello, did we mention eternal and infinite? It also is behind every single culture that has walked the face of the earth. Every set of people have had a way to articulate the divine and all of its truth with a capital T. And they had their people that distilled it into a box and wrote it down. And before they started writing, they were telling stories. For years and eons, we passed down our understanding of our place in the universe and our God or our divine source. And we called it different things and created different rituals around it. And I just say it's our job, individual human beings. Yes, you might be introduced to it through this doorway, but it is not the only doorway. And we allow it to show itself every place possible because that's what it's doing. It's saying, I'm here, I'm over here, and I'm back here. And so that way, when we do create our intention, here's how I would like my life to unfold. Here's what I desire. The universe always says yes. And when there is a barrier, then the yes is yes, but not this way. Yes, but not on this path. You still get a yes, but it could be yes, and this thing that looks like it's in your way is actually going to strengthen you so that when you get to the thing, because it's always yes, when you get to that, you'll be even more in alignment with it. So everything that is in our path is there for us. It's there for us. And I know some things are terrible. How could I say that every personal challenge and every social challenge is there for us? And if we didn't have that challenge, we cannot have the gift. I'm not saying that that challenge is the only way to get there, but guess what? It's in your life. That's your way to get there. You can't not engage in this challenge because you don't believe in this challenge, and therefore you're not subject to its effects. You still have to deal with it. I am a Black woman in IT, information technology. There's not a lot of Black women in IT. And so I would have said, well, gee, not a lot of Black women are doing IT. Let me not choose that as a career. That's not in my nature. Y'all have met me. I'm very perseverant. So I look at the problem, and I've met a bunch of people that Yeah, right. What does she have to say? And I'm like, okay, so you're not a believer. That's fine. I'm still here to do what I'm gonna do, and you'll probably come around. Most of them do. And if you don't, that's not on me. But I'm not gonna let that so-called barrier stand in my way for what I'm called to do, because what I'm called to do is higher. It's bigger than this small circumstance. My divine spiritual guidance is bigger than that particular thing. And it's almost laughable. I mean, I giggle sometimes, especially when I look back. And at the moment I was triggered, but in retrospect, I giggle because this little problem, it's puny when it's compared to my divine essence that feeds me and moves me. Some people say, why do you bring your problems to God? Why do you tell God about your small problems? You should tell your problems about your big God. And some people say that, whatever way it takes to be able to look at something and go, that's cute. That's cute. Not going to stop me. And then use it to climb higher. I've told you about the story of the donkey that the farmer put into a well because the farmer didn't want to feed the donkey and didn't want it to take a long time. He was just going to bury the donkey alive. So the farmer digs some dirt, throws it on the donkey, another shovelful, throws it on the donkey, and just he's shoveling dirt into the well, intending to cover the donkey and bury the donkey to death. But that animal just shook it off his back and stepped up. Thank you. Can I have another? Because by the time you're done, I'll be eye to eye with you, sir. I love that because in my mind, when I'm feeling the strength that I have in me, and remember, that's my name for this year, strength, I feel that no matter what gets thrown on me, I too can shake it off. And I too can use it to step up. And sometimes I just fall apart and I give myself 10 minutes to have a little pity party. And then I go, what are we doing? And if I can't do it by myself, I rely on my community and my support systems. So I recommend that for us as a community, yes, we set an intention in the beginning of every year, and we're saying at the beginning of every day. And then we show up for life. And when life says, no, you can't have that, we go, that's cute. And listen, I'm not saying pretend or just bypass your way, pretend life is fine. And let me tell you, pretending is not going to do it. It's a matter of knowing. So this comes down to patience. Patience is the supporting backbone that we can start to build. Patience. This is a virtue, as you've heard before. Patience is a virtue. It really is. Because when we can see in the midst of something going wrong, if we can see right there that that means there's something better for us down the road, and that it doesn't, our path, we didn't expect perfection when we set our intention. We expected it to be a little curvy and have a few bumps on it. We expect that, and we have patience. It means that the universe is helping us and we're aware of it. We don't necessarily get thrown around by appearances. We just know that if we keep checking in with ourselves, we can still keep our mind on the prize. Now, the reason we check in with ourselves is to ensure that we're not saying with one breath that we want or we desire or this is our intention, and then actively acting against that intention. And you could make this analogy any way you want. One of the common ones is just say any sort of health. So if you want some better health, and you just tell the universe in pictures and in visions that you claim better health for yourself now, and then immediately get sucked in when somebody offers you the exact opposite, then we have to know that there's like a tug of war happening. Or if we say we want better health and then immediately sabotage ourselves by saying, yeah, well, why try? to put two different ideas out there is to confuse ourselves and to actually have a harder time. So when we have some barrier come our way, and if it continues to happen, ask yourself, am I self-sabotaging? Do I want something on the surface, but a part of me doesn't really believe I can have it? Because those two things will conflict. And life will try to give you what you want and you'll turn it away. You won't even notice that it's coming. This is how we want to make sure. So a lot of times what we have to do inside is till the ground, till the soil, pull the weeds out, remove any negative thinking about ourselves. If you notice yourself thinking negatively or walking down the wrong road a lot, there's probably something else at work. Something needs forgiving and something needs accepting, typically. And then we can step into the sense that I do deserve what I say. In fact, Carolyn Meese, she wrote the book Sacred Contracts. I love this book. She talks about, oh, we're souls that arrived on this planet, but we had a meeting before we got here. And we said, we all love each other, but you and your enemy said, okay, I said, I want to learn patience. And this enemy said, well, Charlene, I love you, but I'm going to show up on Earth and I'm going to try your patience. I'm going to step on your last nerve. And I go, okay, love you. You see you down in Earth. And then we get to Earth and now that person's making me mad. Carolyn Meese says that we have a sacred contract with that person. And that's what we agreed on in a previous life. So she has this quote. At crucial points in our lives, we're placed in situations that require of us unaccustomed skill, courage, or wisdom. Unaccustomed skill, courage, or wisdom. Such moments are indications that our sacred contract is in play. But how we respond to these moments is up to us. Okay, she goes, examine your life. Look for unusual challenges that presented themselves that seem to go against the grain. I know we all have one or two. What challenge are you going through right now? Or did you go through recently and you can look back and go, oh yeah, I seriously had to come up with some unaccustomed skill. I had to dig down and find courage I didn't even know I had. I had to apply wisdom that I didn't know I needed. Because this was a situation that was just nowhere. It just hit me like a bus. So I had to really gather she said, these are the sacred contracts. We said to ourselves in wherever we were before we got here, we said, all right, this is what we're going to work on. And this thing popped up. I can look back and see, I can look, you guys were with me. Y'all went through this with me. That annoying job I had with that annoying person, and the job was fine for like 11 years, and then it went left, and it went left fast. And I had to move and dodge. I had to acquire skills, learn stuff. I felt like I was going through the grinder. And I can safely say, I look back and go, oh, thank God. Thank God. Because I would not have shifted my focus as drastically, and now the path looks amazing. If I had stayed on that other path, it really was a dead end. I couldn't have told you that at the time. How many of us have this going on right now? These are the sacred contracts that we have with ourselves. And can you just get through it all flippantly? No, faith is required. Remember what Ernest Holmes said. We've got to have faith in the higher truth behind all these spiritual traditions. Love and there's a list. Love, beauty, and truth with a capital T. I can probably list all the ones that Plato talked about. These are the truths. These are the seven attributes of that are true behind all things. What is it? Love, beauty, wisdom, oneness with what's higher than us, a sense of oneness and joy, justice. There's these pervasive or pervading qualities that are consistently the high points and the things that are so-called good in all societies, in all nature. It's the back of every spiritual tradition. We know what it is to do good. and to be good. We know what it means. And so that is the thing that we have to have faith in, that behind every challenge, every hill, oh my gosh, this is going to be hard. Yes, and let's go. Get up. Let's do what we have to do. And we have to have this faith. It becomes a thing where once we see the challenge, we have to move forward. We have to rise up and move forward, knowing we have in us something bigger than the circumstance. Imagine a tree, a small sapling built next to a sidewalk. The tree gets bigger, the sidewalk is concrete. As the tree gets bigger and grows, the tree's roots do encounter resistance. Who wins? Definitely the tree. How many times have you tried to roller skate down a street that used to have straight slate or whatever they used for concrete? The tree wins 100% of the time, because as there's sidewalk up and down and up and down. I saw a picture about it was like concrete road with a little daisy popping up. Just life wins every time. Every time. You could try to shellac it over. Out front, I had a bunch of thorn bushes pulled up. I was so grateful. Those thorn bushes were just like menacing. And I had them plant a whole new thing. It looks amazing. It's been 3 years now. I was out in the yard. Guess what I found? A little sprout of that thorn bush. I was like, Life will find a way. Yes, I yanked it out when I had to put on 3 layers of gloves so I wouldn't get poked. This is the thing. We are that life, and circumstances come. But if you have just a seed of what it is you want, a desire that is based on the highest, I'm talking the base, love, truth, beauty, high level aspirations, nothing can hold you back. You tell whatever little problems come your way, oh, let me tell you about what's backing me, and watch it move. All right? So everyone, I just want you to know that life, as we move into our next steps, it expands and it shrinks in accordance to our willingness to show up and have faith in it. And I just know that each and every one of us, we have the faith to live the life that we desire to live. And in doing so, we will make the world an entirely better place, a little bit at a time. All right, let's go then, and let's go into some prayer. There's only one divine energy. This is life itself that lives and moves and has its intention and its vision happening through each and every one of us. Through our own individual take on this, our own individual spin, we bring the divine forth in all of its glory. We are one with the universe. We are one with Mother, Father, God, Divine Spirit, whatever you call it, the oversoul, the infinite awareness. We are one with it. We are it. And so is everybody else. So is everything else. Every being on this planet is one with it. We are not separate. And there's no verses. It's only the one. And we are guided by these divine impulses to move forward in our lives. And that any barrier, any restriction, any obstacle is used for the higher, the benefit for our highest. It's used to move us to our highest. And so I speak my word right now that any idea of adversarialness, any idea of, oh, I have to fight, that is immediately dissolved. Any appearance of disharmony, disunity, illness, dis-ease dissolves in the presence of what is highest, and that is love. Just like the darkness dissolves in the presence of light, any appearance other than the wholeness and the gravitational pull of perfection, anything besides that simply disappears. And in this sense of wholeness and perfection, I speak my word for Dan. and Dan's wife, Mindy, and that they too, whatever appears to be separating is now dissolved in a sense of oneness. That the push and the pull and the seemingly opposite is really the one expressing itself. And that any obstacles to this are simply dissolved into the nothingness from whence they came. And what appears instead is a higher vision, a higher purpose. Right here, right now, I know that we are not always drawn into what it looks like, and that we are always sitting into what truly is. And so right here, right now, I just know that our whole community is just vibrating with possibility, with joy, and with unfoldment that is amazing. I simply release my word with gratitude. I'm grateful to be able to know this truth. I let it go. I let it be into the universe that always says yes. I let it be. And so it is. Amen. Ashe. And now the soul pajamas.
There is a promise, I feel it coming, in the rising of a turning tide. Every burden shall be lifted on the soul of faith inside. And every spirit will feel the blessing, and every soul will be satisfied. We are rising higher, higher in this turning tide. We are rising, rising in this turning tide. We are rising, rising in this turning tide. I hear the music in the madness. I see a vision of a brighter day. I draw compassion from our sadness and fuel the fire for a better way. I put my money where my mouth is. I get on board the freedom ride. We are rising higher, higher in this turning tide. We are rising, rising in this turning tide. We are rising, rising in this turning tide. And so the promise becomes the present, and the future is opening wide. We are guided, we are gifted, we are lifted up inside, and nobody can do it for us. We sing our own hallelujah chorus. We are rising higher, higher in this turning tide. Yeah, we are rising higher, higher. 2, 3, 4. In this turning tide. In this turning tide.
My turn.
Yes, go for it.
Hi. Now is the time to bless the donations that are shared today. Put our money where our mouths are. At CSL Leesburg, we believe in the law of circulation, so we are a tithing community. The donations shared with our center bless everyone, those who give and those who receive. Your donation helps our center, our CSL home organization, as well as organizations that support our vision of helping to create a world that works for everyone. We're always looking for suggestions of organizations that we should consider. go to our website and click Give. Please look at our screen. There are many ways to give. It's easy to find a way that works best for you. You may also go to our website, cslleesburg.org, and click the donate button. We thank you for your support. No matter how you are giving, take that gift physically or mentally, place it over your heart, and join us in our affirmation of oneness. The presence of spirit within me blesses everyone I meet, tends to heal everything I touch, brings gladness into the life of everyone I contact. Therefore, I am a blessing to myself, to humankind, and to the day in which I live. As we end this sacred time together, let us once again place our hands over our hearts and say, I am love.
I am love.
Now point at someone near you or to our members and guests on the screen and say, you are love.
You are
Fun.
love.
You are love. Now put your hands up in the air for some love sprinkles and say, it's all love.
Oh,
It's
love.
all love.
Thank you. Thank you. And if you can stay for a few more minutes, please feel free to join us. We have some pearls. We stay and talk afterwards. These little nuggets of our service that spoke to your hearts and minds. And if you're a visitor, please stay and introduce yourself. We'd love the opportunity to get to know you. And if you have to leave us, we know that you'll have a day filled with love, joy, and blessings. And thank you so much for joining us today.
Yay. All done.